Wow. Genuinely just wow, bro. What did we just witness today, man? What did we just witness, boys? We just witnessed the definition of the beautiful game, boys. Everything that we saw in display today in this matchup between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich defined the beautiful game. Individual brilliance, great tactics, incredible goals, back and forth, thrilling football, man. Everything to define the beautiful game we witnessed today in the first leg of the semifinals, bro. The semifinals, man. It's so unfortunate that we're calling it the semifinals because both of these teams deserve to be in the final, bro. This should be the ideal, perfect final for this Champions League, but unfortunately, they're going up against each other in semifinals, and Paris Saint-Germain defeat Bayern Munich in the first leg 5-4 today at the Parc des Princes. And Paris Saint-Germain have an advantage now with one goal going away to the Allianz Arena, but even though Paris won and even though they have a goal advantage, you're leaving this game confused as to who's going to reach the final, boys. You're so confused. I think the one thing we can definitely agree on is that the winner of the 25-26 Champions League is in this bracket right here, is in this side right here, between Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern Munich. I'm sorry, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, keep dreaming. Keep dreaming because what we saw from today's game, and what we've been seeing throughout this whole season as well from both of these teams, they're just too good, bro. They have everything in their power to win this Champions League, and I definitely, truly, in my heart, believe that one of them will be winning it. I mean, it's hard to choose who because at this point, I really don't know who will be making the final, but the winner is on this side. Arsenal and Atletico, yeah, just pack the bag, put the fries in the bag. That's all I can say. But hey, guys, what a game that we just saw today, man. What a thriller today. So many back and forth, so many great goals. Everything in display today was just incredible. And let's just talk about it, boys. So let's talk about the lineups real quick. So the lineup that Luis Enrique decided to go for today was Safanoff in goal, back on of Nuno Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi, midfield of Joao Neves, Vitinha, Zayemery, and up top, Ousmane Dembele, and Desire Doué. So the strongest team that Luis Enrique can definitely put up. I think the only change you could probably make is Fabian Ruiz instead of Zayemery, but besides that, a very strong team for sure for Paris Saint-Germain. And for Vincent Kompany, or for today, Aaron Danks, considering Vincent Kompany was suspended from the sidelines today, they went up with Manuel Neuer in goal, back enough Stanisic, Upamecano, Jonathan Tah, Alfonso Davies, midfielder Pavlovic, Jamal Musiala, Joshua Kimmich, and up top, Michael Olise, Harry Kane, and Luis Diaz. So again, the strongest lineup that definitely Bayern Munich can put up. Probably the only change you can maybe say is Gnabry, probably because he's been more consistent than Musiala throughout the season. But besides that, the strongest team that they can definitely put up, man. But listen, the one thing I said going into this matchup that Bayern Munich do so well against Paris Saint-Germain that we've seen in the other times that they've gone up against each other, like in the Club World Cup or even in the league phase when they played each other this season, is that they don't show any type of respect to Paris Saint-Germain. And I don't mean it in a disrespectful way and saying like, oh, they talk shit about them or anything like that. No, it's a matter of on the pitch, they don't show any type of respect to them. Like where other teams, like smaller teams or the teams are not at the level of Bayern Munich, will show Paris Saint-Germain and saying, oh, look, they have they're the reigning champions, they have the best players in the world, they have a Ballon d'Or winner, they have a great manager. No, let's be cautious with them. Let's have respect with them. Let's not take too many risks or anything, right? Well, Bayern Munich, they come out firing, bro. They come out firing. Vincent Kompany does not care. Their players do not care. They want to come out on top. They want to put the pressure on Paris Saint-Germain, and they want to dominate this game. And we saw that at the beginning of this game for the first 15 to 20 minutes where Bayern Munich came out firing, bro, putting immense amounts of pressure on Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain were having difficulties coming out their own half. Bayern Munich start off great. You've seen the likes of Jonathan Tah, Upamecano run away into the midfield, putting the pressure on Ousmane Dembele whenever they were dropping deep. You saw the intensity that Bayern Munich came out immediately, and that's what led them to get their first goal when Luis Diaz gets fouled inside the box from a great little 1-2 between him and Olise. Luis Diaz gets fouled in the box by Pacho with a bad tackle from Pacho. Penalty para Bayern Munich. Harry Kane steps up, and you know when Harry Kane steps up, he's going to score it every single day of the week. Bangs it in. Stanovic the other way and bangs it in bottom right corner. 1-0 right there for Bayern Munich, and they deserved it because they started the game excellently. And literally moments later, another steal away from Bayern. They put the pressure on Paris Saint-Germain again. They win the ball back. Olise inside the box all by himself. He should have scored it right there. They could have immediately scored a second goal right there, but Olise messes up. He should have banged that in. He should have curled it around the goalkeeper. A great save from Safanoff to save Paris Saint-Germain from going down 2-0 like that, man. And again, you're just thinking at this point, all right, Bayern Munich are dominating. They're looking like the better team. Paris Saint-Germain, you better wake up. But the one thing you have to get right against Paris Saint-Germain, a team like Paris Saint-Germain, If you're going to come out with that intensity that Bayern came out with, if you're going to come out with putting that amount of pressure that they came out playing in the first 15, 20 minutes, you have to keep at it at all moments. Because if you don't, if you give even a little space to the players of Paris Saint-Germain, they're going to cut right through you. And we saw that throughout this game, especially when we look at the first goal. I would say mostly individual brilliance from Kvaratskhelia, where he just cooks Stanisic, sends them the other way, cuts in, and just bangs it and curls it right past Manuel Neuer to bring them back into the game. 1-1. And we're like thinking, all right, cool, game on. We're like Bayern Munich, we're looking at the better team, but one little moment of brilliance from an individual like Kvaratskhelia, who I was looking into this game to be a major impactful player, boom, brings Paris Saint-Germain back into the game. Like, all right, cool, game on. Let's Paris Saint-Germain are waking up now, and they started definitely waking up after that goal. Where moments later, they're in another counterattack. Ousmane Dembélé threw on goal. Ousmane Dembélé, the balloons. Oh, he's gonna bang it in. 2-1, 2-1. Paris Saint-Germain hits it wide. I'm like, bro, what are you? Are you Paris Saint-Germain Ousmane Dembélé or Barcelona Ousmane Dembélé? Because Barcelona Ousmane Dembélé, I can understand that, but you're Paris Saint-Germain Ousmane Dembélé. I think at this point you're elevating to another level, boys. But I guess not. I guess not. But yeah, it was genuinely crazy that Ousmane Dembélé really missed that opportunity. I was genuinely shocked. I was like, all right, cool, advantage for Paris Saint-Germain, but they flopped their shot. But then later they get a corner kick. Ousmane Dembélé steps up for the corner kick. He curls it in and finds Joao Neves, who just perfectly places it with the header to the bottom right corner to give Paris Saint-Germain the lead, 2-1 lead. And I gotta, how tall is he, bro? He's 5'9", bro. Like literally one of the smallest players on the pitch, considering the giants that all these players are. Literally one of the smallest players on the pitch wins the header and just perfectly places it to the bottom right corner to give Bayern, PSG the advantage, bro. I'm like, bro, there's just no way, man. There's just no way that just happened out of nowhere. But like, all right, cool. Paris Saint-Germain with the advantage. And again, at that point, you're thinking, all right, Bayern Munich, you're slowing down a bit. Your intensity has slowed down a bit. You're giving the advantage to Paris Saint-Germain. What's going on here? And then, boom, Michael Olise with a stupendous goal, a beautiful individual goal from Michael Olise, where you are blaming more the defense of Paris Saint-Germain, because what are you doing there? They just allowed Olise to just run through them through the middle, and Olise just bangs it in, hits it with power, past Savinov, and then boom, goal for Bayern Munich to come back into the game 2-2. I would blame that goal mostly on Marquinhos, because that was just terrible defending. I'm sure he was probably a little bit worried because Marquinhos had received an early yellow card, considering Luis Diaz went on a counterattack and he brought him down. But yeah, just terrible defending there from Paris Saint-Germain. And again, another thriller. Back at it again, 2-2. You're thinking, all right, cool. Ending it the first half 2-2, because we were approaching the end of the first half, and then literally as the first half was about to end, penalty para Paris Saint-Germain, which for me was just a bummer, bro. It was just a bummer because of how excellent Bayern Munich were doing. Props to, of course, Paris Saint-Germain as well. They were doing great things too, but you would have wanted it to go into the second half with at least a tie. I think a tie would have definitely been deserved, considering how both teams were playing. But unfortunately, just a little mistake there from Alphonso Davies, you can say. Or I would say it's just unfortunate for real, where Ousmane Dembélé just to go for a cross, it hits off Alphonso Davies and it hits his arm. And the referee interpreted it as a penalty, where his arm just interfered with the cross. But yeah, it sucked, but penalty para Paris Saint-Germain. Ousmane Dembélé stops up and he bangs it in past Neuer, bottom right corner. Neuer had no chance. He guessed the right way, but he still had no chance, man. But man, going to the halftime, PSG with a 1-goal advantage, and at that point you're thinking at halftime, you already know you have an idea of how Bayern Munich are going to approach the second half. With Paris Saint-Germain, you exactly know how they're going to approach the second half. Paris Saint-Germain, for the second half, you know they're going to come out to try and kill the game. Try to score more goals. They have a 1-goal advantage now. Kill the game. Try to end the game right here in this first leg. While Bayern Munich, you're thinking, okay, maybe probably be a little bit more reserved in the second half, not come out with the amount of intensity that they came out with in the first half, considering, they play they play very high up, which leads them exposed and counterattacks for sure, and we saw that throughout this game. So you were thinking, okay, Bayern Munich maybe will be a little bit more reserved, drop back a little bit, considering, it's only a 1-goal deficit. Going away to home to the Allianz with a 1-goal deficit, it's not the end of the world, right? You don't want to concede more after that, right? But, Bayern Munich came out with the same intensity, came out playing the same way, and that's probably something that shot themselves in the foot, because literally 10 minutes into the second half, Paris Saint-Germain scored 2 goals like that. like that. From a goal from Kvaratskhelia, Hakimi puts in a great ball into the box. First of all, that run from Hakimi way too easily. I was thinking, yo, am I watching Barcelona right here for a second? Like they ran through. Hakimi just ran past them so easily. Puts in a great cross in the box. Dembele and Zaire leave the ball for Kvaratskhelia on the other side by himself and just bangs it in. Easy goal for Kvaratskhelia to bring them up 4-2 or 3-2. And you're thinking again, like, I mean, not 4-2, I should say. You're thinking again, what's going on here? All right, immediately the second half starts, and like, all right, now an uphill battle now for Bayern Munich. Moments later, again, another counterattack. Desire Doué holds up the ball, gives the pass over to Ousmane Dembele, and Dembele just bangs it in near post. A beautiful shot from Dembele to bring them up 5-2. 5-2, boys. At that point, game, set, done, finito. It's over. It's over. Paris Saint-Germain are going back-to-back in the Champions League. They're still the best team in the world. No one can stop them. Bayern Munich, you tried your best. You were playing incredible, but it just wasn't your day. Manuel Neuer, of course, having a stinker as well. It just wasn't their day. It just wasn't their day, unfortunately. And Paris Saint-Germain going with the most confidence in the world. But props to fucking Bayern Munich, man. You got to give them their props. They did not give up whatsoever and almost make the remontada after scoring another 2 goals from the likes of Upamecano and Luis Diaz. Upamecano brings them back to 5-3 from a beautiful cross into the back post from Kimmich from a free kick. Upamecano finds it and gets them back to a 5-3 deficit. So from going from 3-goal deficit to 2-goal deficit. But that goal from, oh my God, that goal from Luis Diaz, bro. Wow. Harry Kane with a beautiful over-the-top to Luis Diaz. Onside. That touch, that first touch from Luis Diaz to control it. Go the other way, composed, and just curls it past enough to bring them back 5-4. Game on there. From a 3-goal deficit to a 1-goal. What the fuck am I witnessing here, bro? Terrible defending from Paris Saint-Germain. They're definitely lamenting themselves heavily for allowing Bayern Munich to come back in that manner. Because if they are gone away to the Allianz Arena with the 3-goal advantage, man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. How could you not put it past? How could you think that Bayern Munich would really come back for that, and Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain would throw it away? Like, these guys are mentality monsters. They've won the Champions League already. They know what they have to do to get over the line. In what world would you think that they, after going away to the Allianz with the 3-goal advantage, that they would throw it away? It wouldn't happen, right? But now they've definitely thrown it away, because from a 3-goal advantage to a 1-goal advantage, not good. Not good. And that shows the bad defending from Paris Saint-Germain, but it also shows the quality up top today from Bayern Munich, especially to who I would give the man of the match to with Luis Diaz, man. Luis Diaz against Real Madrid, he really didn't move me. And it's mostly in the matter because I didn't see too many attempts from him to really take on his players, take on his defenders. But we also have to recognize the difference between Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain, where Paris Saint-Germain leave themselves a lot more open than the likes of Real Madrid, who in that game were defending like crazy, right? So that's probably one of the reasons why. But Luis Diaz, man, what a game from him today, boys. Wins the penalty, scores an incredible goal, so threatful going forward, just cooking defenders here, right and center, man. I would give him the man of the match. Like, my man of the match changed a lot throughout this game. At one point, I gave it to Elisa in that first half. Second half, I thought he slowed down a bit. Dembele, because he got 2 goals and an assist. He was great today. Doué was incredible as well, but Luis Diaz, I think, runs away with it because throughout the whole game, he was such a threat. He gets his goal. So impactful for Bayern Munich to get a good result today as well, man. But, man, what a game, boys. Genuinely, what a game. Going over individuals, for the most part, both the teams defensively. I think Paris Saint-Germain got more exposed defensively in terms of individual mistakes, while with the likes of Bayern Munich, it just came down to mostly those transitions, man, where in those transitions, when you give that amount of space to the likes of the attack force that Paris Saint-Germain have, it's always going to be difficult, and that's where they capitalize a lot in Paris Saint-Germain, especially when they got those 2 easy goals in that second half. So, it's tough to say whose defense was worse because, again, it mostly came down to, those counterattacks versus just individual mistakes from this end. But I think Bayern's were still stronger. Like, I don't think I'm crazy to say about as much as Paris Saint-Germain won today. I think Bayern Munich were still the better team today. I thought they were definitely the better team. I think they deserved more, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen today. But I still think that Bayern Munich were the better team. Upamecano, man, what a oh my God, bro, what a player, bro. Genuinely, what a player today. You know, you always think about him having that one little bozo moment where you're thinking like he's gonna give it away for the other team, but today he didn't have any of that. He was excellent today, bro. Putting the pressure on Kvaratskhelia. That second half, his job was to lock down Kvaratskhelia, and I think he did a pretty good job after that, for the most part in the second half, since before he came off. Putting the pressure going forward into the midfield to Doué, Dembélé whenever he needed to. He was excellent. Oh my God, boy, what a defender, bro. What a defender. He was incredible today. Olise absolutely giving nightmares to Nuno Mendes, because Nuno Mendes, man, he was poor today, bro. Both defensively and going forward. Going forward, he practically offered nothing, which is probably the game plan for Luis Enrique, since you would see Nuno Mendes, Pancho, dropping to the back three, while Hakimi would always be going forward, always be out wide, basically playing as a winger for sure, and then Doué would play more centrally. But as much as that is tactics, you know that Nuno Mendes himself still loves to attack, still loves to go forward, and he practically did nothing. As much as how much he had to struggle against Michael Olise, I thought Michael Olise was incredible today as well, getting an incredible goal. Could have gotten more for sure, but in that second half, I thought he slowed down a bit for sure, but the first half he was incredible. But throughout the game, I'll give him props. Harry Kane did well today too, holding great hold-up play, pulling players off the ball when he needed to, gets a goal, gets an incredible assist as well. Good game from Harry Kane. Jamal Musiala, man, I thought he was poor today. I really wasn't impressed by his performance at all. I thought it was a slow day in the office today for Musiala. I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did. But when you look at the injury list that Bayern Munich have, and not a lot of quality to bring off the bench, it's difficult to really bring him out. So who can replace him in the midfield right there? But I thought Jamal Musiala really didn't impress me at all throughout this game. But for the rest of the team, man, so much credit. Everyone did great. Everyone did their part. And yeah, Bayern Munich were incredible today. Same thing goes for Paris Saint-Germain. Vitinha, I feel like at times I feel like he ghosted a bit. I really didn't see much of his presence, but I think he still did pretty well. John Neves was great, defensive work, putting in that work rate, getting a great goal. Doué, the main criticism I'll probably give to Doué is sometimes he's rash with his decision making. He's still young. He obviously thinks he can learn as he matures more, but he still did great hold up play, great in 1-1 situations, causing problems, getting 2 assists. I thought he was great today. Kvaratskhelia, he was impactful, of course, getting those 2 goals. Had his moments where he would cook the defenders, but I feel like I needed a little bit more from Kvaratskhelia. I feel like he needed to attack a lot more, get the ball a lot more throughout this game. Dembélé, man, excellent game from him as well, bro. It's just, man, everyone, what a game, boys. Genuinely, just what a game. And again, boys, I really don't know how this second half. Lambert comes in great as well. Goretzka comes in to kill a game, and Nicholas Jackson did nothing. Fabiano Ruiz brought in for good defensive work. Barcola had some dangerous moments. Mayulu hits the crossbar, and Lucas Hernandez comes in to defend the game. But listen, boys, again, what a thriller, what a game, such an excellent game. So much, again, I give my man of the match to Luis Diaz at the end, but everyone in this pitch today put up an incredible display for just pure entertainment, and wow, what a game, bro. I can't lie, what a game, man. And now we'll see what happens at the Allianz next week. Who's going to take it all the way and get to the final? It's hard to say, but if I were to slightly edge it, I'd probably give it to Bayern Munich because of how excellent they played today. Again, I thought they were the better team today, even though they lost, and having that advantage now playing at home, I think they could potentially get over the line for this Champions League campaign and reach the final and win it all. Because, again, I think we can all agree that the winner is most definitely on this side. But let me know, guys, what you guys think, what you guys thought about this game. I think we can all agree, such a thriller, such an incredible game. Let me know what your thoughts on the game. Who was your man of the match? And who you see reaching the final of this year's Champions League between both of these teams. We got such an exciting game toward tomorrow to probably be a snooze fest. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're all wrong about Atletico and Arsenal. And hopefully tomorrow they live up to the expectations of what a semifinals should be, right? So yeah, we'll see, boys. But yeah, let me know all those things down in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, favorite, hit the notification bell for everything me upload. Share your friends, love football, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Whenever that is, much love, take care, God bless you all, and peace.